Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today we are going to discuss the passing away of Bhīṣmadeva in the presence of Lord Krishna. Canto 1, Chapter 9. We are discussing the first canto, the main narration. In that also about the listener. The question number 10. Describe the birth and activities, Janma and Karma of Maharaj Parikshit is being discussed. In that prelude to Parikshit's birth, we have discussed Ashwathama's deployment of Brahmastra, Uttara's prayers, Queen Kunti's prayers, and later Yudhishthira's lamentation. So we discussed till then, we'll continue from there. So once again, in the first chapter, which is of 3 parts, we have Mangalacharana of Vyasadeva on the context setting of Shaunaka and other sages meeting and greeting Sutta Goswami in Naimisharanya, and then the 6 questions they have asked. In chapter 2, 4 questions are answered. First question, what is the ultimate good for all? Ahaituki apratihata bhakti. The second question, what is the essence of all scriptures? Shravana, Kirtana, Smarana, Archana. And that is for Lord Krishna and always. And the third question is why Lord Krishna appears personally. That is to protect and delight the devotees. And also there is a 4th question about describing the Lord's great activities in relation to creation, the Purusha avatars, Karanodakasai Vishnu, Garbhodakasai Vishnu, and Kshirodakasai Vishnu. Karanodakasai Vishnu creates the universes, Garbhodakasai Vishnu enters into each and every universe, and Kshirodakasai Vishnu enters each and every heart as Paramatma. In the 3rd chapter, the 5th question and 6th question are answered. 5th question, what are the topics of Lord's avatars? So 22 Kalpa avatars are discussed, and also the signs of avatars, such as avatars are unlimited, Krishna is avatari, Vishwarupa is not avatara but material form. Avatars are transcendental, not material. Only devotees understand avatars' activities, and Bhagavatam is non-different from Krishna. And then there is a 6th question, where has Dharma taken shelter after Krishna left to his abode? That is answered as Bhagavatam. Then Sutta Goswami says, I heard with rapt attention when Sukadeva Goswami narrated Bhagavatam, like no yathaditam yathamati. I will explain now as I have studied and as I have assimilated according to my realization. Then there are second set of 7 questions by Shaunaka Rishi. About Bhagavatam, 1 question, in which yuga, where, why, and by whose inspiration did Vyasa compose the Bhagavatam? And then there were 2 questions about Shukadeva Goswami, that how did the citizens of Hastinapura recognize Sukha because he appeared mad, retarded, dumb? And there was another question, how did the dialogue between Shuka and Parikshit take place? Because Sukha will not stay in any place. Maximum he will stay like a muhurta, as long as a cow is being milked. Then how did he stay for so long? And then about Parikshit, please describe the birth and activities of Parikshit. And also please describe about the fasting until death of Parikshit. And also why he gave up royal enjoyments in the prime of youth. And why did he give up his body, which is meant for the welfare of others? These were the questions. Total 7 questions are answered. Sutta's response to the 7th question first about the book Bhagavatam. In answer to that, he was talking about Vyasa's contemplation of future generations, especially in the Kali Yuga. The division of the Vedas, he divided 1 Veda into 4 Vedas so that people can get benefit, because they may not be able to study 1 big Veda. And he also composed Mahabharata, especially for those who cannot study the Vedas, even after divided. And he was lamenting that maybe I have not glorified the pure devotional service. And Suta Goswami continues to answer 7 in chapter 5. And as Vyasa was thinking in the previous chapter, Narada arrives and Narada is questioning Vyasa. Are you truly satisfied? You have done a great job. You compiled Mahabharata, so you have so much of knowledge. Then why are you despondent? Vyasa is telling, I don't know. Tell me the root cause of my dissatisfaction. And you know all the mysteries. Then he says two things, that why you are not happy, because you have not described the pure glories of the Supreme Lord. You have highlighted Swadharma, but not Krishna's glories. These two reasons. Then he gives instructions. Finally, he concludes to describe Krishna's pastimes clearly and vividly. He says that all the spiritual practices, whatever it is, ultimately they culminate in glorifying the Supreme Lord. So compose Bhagavatam. So to tell the glory of bhakti, how it can help a ordinary personality, a son of a maid servant, Narada Muni recounts his previous life, and Narada briefly describes his previous life as son of a maid servant, and he concludes saying that compose Bhagavatam, which will remove all suffering. There's no other way. And in chapter 6, Sutta is continuing to answer question 7, the third chapter. Sixth chapter, but third as far as the question 7 is concerned. Then Vyasa's questions, further questions, is that what did you do after the sages departed? Vyasa is asking to Narada, after initiation, what did you do? How did you attain this transcendental body? How can you remember your previous life even now after one kalpa? So Narada continues part 2. Narada continues his previous life history, part 2. And he says how his mother passed away, how he continued his sadhana, how he saw the Lord once in his heart, and how the Lord instructed him. And then he continued performing Harinam Sankirtan, and finally he got this transcendental body when he left his material body. And he says that this is the glory of Sankirtan. And once again he tells that only Sankirtan, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, can truly satisfy a heart afflicted by lust and greed. So Narada departs. Suta Goswami glorifying Narada. Then here another question. After Narada instructed him and departed, what did Vyasa do? Still continuing question 7 only. And he asked Saunaka sages of Sanamisharanya asked a new question. And Vyasadeva's actions based on Narada's instruction. That's what also described. So Vyasadeva finally meditated once again and composed, saw Krishna and Maya side by side. He thought for Jiva, only Bhagavatam should be brought, and he finally composed Śrīmad Bhāgavatam and taught to Sukha. Immediately, they asked again the question, why to Sukha? He's like, Atma Rama, self-satisfied. Why did he take the pain to undergo study Śrīmad Bhāgavatam? Then the answer is that even Atma Ramas are disturbed by hearing the glories of the Lord. Sukha was also disturbed, and then he came back and he learned Śrīmad Bhāgavatam from Vyasa. So this question 7 is thoroughly answered with several sub questions in it while answering. Now the attention turns to question 8 about the birth and activities of Maharaj Parikshit. And as a prologue to Parikshit history, Ashwadhama kills the sons of Pandavas. That episode is narrated. Draupadi's lamentation, Arjuna's chasing of Ashwadhama, Ashwadhama's release of Brahmastra, and Arjuna's prayers to Krishna and Krishna's response. And finally, Arjuna arresting Ashwadhama and arguments for killing Ashwadhama between Pandavas and Draupadi. And finally, Ashwadhama was released after his hair and jewel removed. It's equivalent to death. Then Krishna pacifies the Pandavas because Yudhishthira is still lamenting that what a grievous thing I have done. And Yudhishthira established his kingdom, but still not happy. Once again, Ashwadhama released Brahmastra 2. And Uttara came running when Krishna is leaving Hastinapura and appealed to him. Krishna neutralized the Brahmastra with his Sudarshan Chakra and saved the Pandavas, as well as the child in the womb of Mother Uttara, that is Parikshit Maharaj. He entered personally. Kunti Devi saw this and she started glorifying Lord Krishna. She offered repeated dandavats in the beginning. Then finally she submitted her prayer that let my attraction be forever flown towards you. And then finally, once again she offered dandavats and concluded. Krishna smiled and accepted the prayers, and he was leaving. Yudhishthira stopped him again and asked him to stay there some more time. So that is where we are. In today's session, we will discuss the great souls from all over the planet have come to see Bhīṣmadeva. And this chapter is about Bhīṣmadeva's discourse to Maharaj Yudhishthira and his glorification of Lord Krishna and his glorious departure. Lord Krishna, Pandavas and many Brahmarshis, Rajarshis, Devarshis and others came to see Bhīṣmadeva. Bhīṣmadeva consoled the Pandavas, especially Yudhishthira. He declared that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Eshavai Bhagavan Sakshad Adyo Narayano Harihi. And he clarifies Yudhishthira's questions. He was preparing to leave his body and he offered wonderful prayers to Lord Krishna. He glorified Krishna as Bhaktavatsala, as Partha Sarathi, as Gopinath. And finally, Bhīṣmadeva leaves his body meditating on the lotus feet of Krishna. So we'll discuss this in detail. Sūta uvaca iti bhīta prajadrohat sarva dharma vivitsaya tato vinashanam pragad yatra deva vratopatat iti bhīta prajadrohat. He's so much afraid of having killed many prajas, many subjects on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Sarva dharma vivitsaya. He's deliberating on dharmas. He wanted to know the dharmas. Tato vinashanam praghat. He went to that place, that same Kurukshetra which was called earlier before the war as Dharmakshetra. It is still Dharmakshetra. It is Vishnu Kshetra. But now it is called as Vinashanam, the place of massacre. So he went there. Yatra deva vrato apatat. Where Bhīṣmadeva was lying on the bed of the arrows. Yatra deva vrato apatat. Devavrata means he is one of the devatas, one of the Vasus. He is also called as Vasuttama. And he is lying on the bed of the arrows. Being fearful because of having committed violence against the population, Yudhishthira, desiring to examine all dharmas, went to Kurukshetra, where Bhīṣma had fallen. Tadhate bhrataras sarve sadasvai svarna bhushitai anvagachan rathair vipra vyasa dhaumyadayastatha. At that time, all his brothers, whose brothers? Give a mic to him. Yudhishthira's brothers. So Bhima, Arjun, Nakul, Sahadev. Tadate bhrataras sarve, all the brothers. Sadasvai, very wonderful horses. Swarna bhushitai, they are decorated with golden ornaments. Anvagachan Rathair Vipra. O Brahmanas, they went with Brahmanas on the Rathas. And Vyasa Dhaumya Dayasthada. Who accompanied them? Vyasa, Dhaumya and others. Who is Dhaumya?
Family priest.
Family priest of the Pandavas and Vyasadeva. Everybody knows. So they took Vyasa and Dhaumya and many sages and all the brothers went. The scene was explained. Bhagavan api viprashe
Bhagavanapi viprashe
rathena sadhananjayah
Thena sadhananjayaha
sataivyarocata nrupaha
Sateryatoja rupaha
kuvera iva guhyakai.
Vera iva guhyakai.
So, who else was with them? O Viprashi, O Saunaka, Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa is also there. He also followed. Rathena sa Dhananjayaha. He was also seated on the chariot with Arjuna. Who was driving the chariot?
Krishna.
Krishna is once again driving the chariot. Some of the acharyas are saying. And Satair Verochetan Nrupaha. Nrupaha means King Yudhishthira appeared very aristocratic. Thus, Sukadeva Goswami is comparing, Sutta Goswami is comparing the scene. Kuvera iva guhyakai. He is like Kuvera, the rich person, treasurer of the devatas, surrounded by companions. It is like they're going to see a dying man. Is this appropriate? Going on so many golden ornamented horses, showing off their kingly opulences. Why did they go like that? Srila Prabhupada is answering. He's saying that they wanted to please Bhīṣmadeva. Bhīṣmadeva will see Yudhishthira as a king. He'll be very happy before he passing away. So to give joy to him, why is Krishna once again doing charioteering for Arjuna? Because Bhīṣmadeva loved that form of Partha Sarathi. Even Arjuna could not see the Partha Sarathi. Why Arjuna could not see? Why Bhīṣmadeva saw?
Because Bhishma was fighting on the other side and Arjuna.
Bhīṣmadeva is seeing Krishna face to face. And Arjuna was not able to see Partha Sarathi, the beauty of Partha Sarathi. So they came now to meet and greet Bhishma. Drishtva nipatitam bhūmau
Drishtvā nipatitam bhūmau
divaschutamivaamaram
Divaschutamivaamaram
pranemo pandava bhishmam
Pranemo Pandava Bhishmam
sanuga sahachakrina.
Sanuga sahachakrina.
Seeing him, Bhishma lying on the ground, Drishtva nipatitam bhūmau, seeing him lying on the ground, Divaschutam iva amaram. Amaram means devata, like a demigod fallen from the sky. Divaschutam iva amaram. Anyway, Bhishma is a amara only. He is one of the Vasus, the best of the Vasus. Vasuttama. Pranemo Pandava Bhishmam sa anuga saha chakrina. All the Pandavas along with Yudhishthira along with all his brothers and Lord Krishna bowed down before Bhīṣmadeva. Pandavas bowing to Bhīṣmadeva is okay. Why Yudhishthira bowed down? Why Krishna bowed down to Bhishma? Why? He's the Supreme Lord. Why is he offering dandavats? Prabhupada says, he considered, though he is the Supreme Lord, he is one of the brothers, cousins of Yudhishthira, family member. So it's a custom, human custom, to offer dandavats to elder family members. He offered dandavats. Bhishma, seeing Bhishma lying on the ground like a fallen devata, the Pandavas offered respects to him along with their followers and Krishna. Tatra brahmarshayas sarve. Chant loudly. Devarshayascha sattama. Rajarshayascha tatrasan. Drashtum bharata pungavam. just to see the chief of the descendants of King Bharata. Yeah. Drashtum Bharata Pungavam. All the great souls in the universe, namely the rishis among us, the devatas, brahmanas and kings, tatra brahmarshayah, devarshayah, rajarshayah, sarve, all of them, all situated in the quality of goodness, Sattama, were assembled there, tatra asan. They all had come. Who all had come?
The Rajarshis,
Rajarshis, Devarshis
and
Brahmarshis. Who are the Rajarshis? Rishis among the kings. Yeah, they came. And Brahmarshis, like great Brahmana Rishis, who have Brahman realized. And who are the Devarshis? The Rishis in the Devatas, like Narada, Parvata. Yeah, they had all had come. O Saunaka, there the Brahmana sages, the sages of the heavenly planets and the kings who were sages had gathered to see the best of the Bharata lineage. Bhīṣma is called as Bharata Pungavam, the best of the Bharata dynasty. Many times Krishna also called Arjuna Bharata, O Bharata, O Bharata, O Bharata. Yeah. Parvato Narado Dhaumyo Bhagavan Badarayanaha Bruhadasvo Bharadvajaha Sashishyo Renuka Sutaha. So here many people had come, their names are given. Parvata Muni, he is also Devarshi. Narada is also Devarshi. Dhaumya is a priest of the Pandavas. You can count him as the Brahmarshi. Bhagavan Badarayanaha. Who is that?
Yes.
Vyasadeva. So Vyasadeva also came. Bruhadashva, he is also great sage. He came. And Bharadvajaha. Bharadvaj Muni came. He is the father of Dronacharya. He came. And Renuka Sutaha means Parshurama. His mother is Renuka. So they all had come along with their disciples. And few more names are told. Vasishta Indra Pramadaha. Trito Gritsamadositaha. Kakshivan Gautamotrischa. Kaushikotha Sudarshanaha. So Vasishtha, Indra Pramada, Trita, Gritsamada, Asita, Kakshiva, Gautama, Atri, Kaushika, Vishwamitra and Sudarshana. All these great souls came to be there on the glorious departure of Bhīṣma. Then many others also had come. Anye cha munayo brahman. Brahmaratadayo mala. Shishairupeta ajagmuhu. Kashyapangira sadayah. Shukadeva Goswami also came. He heard Bhīṣma speaking. So Bhīṣma is also one of his gurus. Huh? He heard from Vyasa. He also heard from Bhīṣma. And Shukadeva Goswami also came when Parikshit Maharaj is leaving his body. That is after many years. But when describing that pastime, Sutta Goswami is telling at the time of Parikshit's departure, how old is Shukadeva Goswami? From Vestavarsham Sukumara Pada. He is telling he's a 16-year-old, Dvi Ashtavarsham. The person who is now Bhīṣma's passing away. The person who is all same person who is there in Parikshit's passing away. If he was at 16-year-old at that time, how old he will be at this now? He should be minus 20-year-old. How that is possible? Then why is it told like that? Shastra cannot be wrong. Because the duration is something like 30-40 years or even 50 years. 50 years. So it is 50 years. But he is here now. He is there also. But he was 16 years at that time. How to understand this logic? Please understand because he is always 16 years. Sukha, He's always like a 16-year-old boy. He was in the mother's womb also 16 years. He came out and he's always 16 years like that. Just like Kumaras are always 4 or 5 years. Like no, Sukadeva Goswami was like that. That's how we have to understand. And they all came with disciples. But one person did not come with disciples. Who is that? Sukadeva Goswami. He had nobody. But some people followed him. Who followed him?
Children.
Children and some women. Why children and women are, some women are following him? Children because some madman is going on. Like, they were curious what's happening. Naked madman. And women were also, some were attracted to his beauty. Prabhupada says, they were also following. So he had no disciples. Kashyapa Angirasa. Kashyapa Alangira. They also came with their disciples. That means even some of the Saptarshis are mentioned here. They had also come to hear from Bhīṣma. Tan sametan mahabhagan upalabhya vasutamaha pujayamasa dharmagno deshakala vibhagavit. That Vasuttama, Bhīṣma is the who was the best among the 8 Vasus. Vasuttama. He received and welcomed all the great sages and powerful rishis who were assembled there. How did he welcome? Normally you call them, you give them asan, you give them water, you give them garland, chandan, arghya, padya, like that. But Bhīṣma is not in a position. He welcomed with his speech. That is also welcome. Because he knows Desha Kala Vibhagavit. He knows perfectly all the religious principles according to time and place. He is Dharmagyam. He worshipped them with his words. Yeah, with his words. The best of the Vasus, Bhīṣma, endowed with great qualities, knowledgeable of Dharma, as applicable according to the place and time, seeing that they had gathered, worshipped them. Krishnam cha tat prabhavagnya Asinam jagadishwaram Hridistam pujayamasa Mayayopata vigraham. Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa is situated in everyone's heart. Krishnam Hridistam. He himself says in Bhagavad Gita, I am seated in every heart as Paramatma. That same Krishna, Mayayopata Vigraham, he manifests his transcendental form by his internal potency. Here, Mayayopata Vigraham, he is actually exhibiting his internal potency but appearing like a normal human to cheat the common people. Asinam Jagadishwaram, that very Lord Jagadishwara, Supreme Lord, was sitting before Bhīṣmadeva and Ujayamasa. He worshipped him duly. Bhīṣma also worshipped Krishna. Bhīṣma worshipped all the sages who had come from all over the planet, the Brahmarshis, the Devarshis, the Rajarshis. Along with them, he was also worshipping. Lord Krishna. So, the first part, great souls arrived to see Bhīṣma. It's over. And now we are talking about Bhīṣma talking to the Pandavas. Panduputranupasinan Prashraya prema sangatan Abhyachasthanuragashray Andhi bhutena chakshusha. All the Pandavas came. Actually, they were standing behind because many other sages were coming to give respect to them. But finally, Bhīṣma was looking for them. So they all had come in front, sat silently in front of him. Prashraya prema sangatan. They were overtaken with affection for their dying grandfather. Looked at Bhīṣma. And Bhīṣma was also looking at them. Bhīṣma is also crying. And they are also crying. There were tears of ecstasy in his eyes. He was also overwhelmed with love. Abhyachasthanuragashrair andhi bhutena chakshusha. Seeing this, Bhīṣmadeva congratulated them with feeling. There were tears of ecstasy in his eyes, for he was overwhelmed by love and affection. His eyes blinded by tears of love, he spoke to the Pandavas sitting there, filled with humility and love. And he's telling, Bhishma is telling, Aho kastamaho nyayam yadyuyam dharmanandana Jivitum narhata klistam Vipradharmachutashraya. Bhīṣmadeva said, Aho kashtam, aho anyayam. What terrible suffering, what terrible injustice. Yadyuyam dharmanandana, you good souls suffer for being the sons of religion personified. You are all the sons of dharma. Dharma personified, not just Yudhishthira. Others were also called because they are following Yudhishthira. They are also exhibiting all dharma. Jivitum narhata klishtam. You did not deserve to remain alive under those tribulations. Vipra dharma achyuta ashraya. Yet you are protected by the Brahmanas, by dharma, by Achyuta, Krishna himself. Yet you are protected by Brahmanas, dharma and Achyuta, Supreme Lord. If somebody else in your situation, they cannot live. They would not have survived. So many difficulties, so many problems, so much injustice, so many issues you people have faced. He was telling in tears to them. Samstite atirathe pandav Pritha bala prajavadhu Yushmat krite bahun klesham Prapta tokavati muhu. He is remembering Kunti Devi. Is she in the scene or not in the scene? We don't know. Whether she went there or not. But Bhishma is remembering. When Pandu, the great general, Athiratha Pandu, when he left his body, Samstite Athirate Pandu. When Pandu left, Kunti was Balavadhu. Pritha Bala Prajavadhu. Kunti is the mother of small children. Kunti was the mother of small children when the great general Pandu left his body. She was also very young. And her children are also very young. Why she survived? Yushmat krute bahun klesan. Just because of you. She actually did not undergo the sati. And to raise all of you, she survived. And so many difficulties she had to face in the forest and in the Hastinapura under the so-called protection of King Dhritarashtra. Prapta tokavati muhu. Is it over when you are grown up? No. Small children, small problems. Big children, big problems. She faced problems even when you are grown up. All the time there is a problem. Your mother faced so many difficulties because of you. As far as my daughter-in-law Kunti is concerned, upon the great general Pandu's death, she became a widow with many children, and therefore she suffered greatly. And when you were grown up, she suffered a great deal also because of your actions. See, Bhima was thrown in the forest, in the ocean, and then there was a house of lac. Draupadi was disrobed, and like this, so many difficulties Pandavas have faced. Kunti was also recollecting yesterday. Vishan Mahagne Purushadha Darshanat Asat Sabhaya. Like that she was recounting so many difficulties. Sarvam Kala Kritam Manye Bhavatam Chayada Priyam Sapalo Yadvashe Loko Vayoriva Ghanavalihi. He is telling, Manye, in my opinion, This is all due to inevitable time. Sarvam kala kritam manye bhavatam cha yadapriyam. All this apriyam happened to you because of Kala. Who is Kala? Krishna himself. Kalosmi loke kshayakrit pravruddhe. He himself is declared. It is because of Krishna. It is because of Kala. It all happened. Yeah. And Sapalo yadvashe loko vayoriva ghanavalihi. Under whose control everyone in every planet is carried. That Kala. That Krishna. Vayoriva ghanavalihi. Just as the clouds are carried by the wind. Yatra dharma suto raja Gadapanir vrukodaraha Krishnostri gandivam chapam Suhrut Krishnastato vipat. Yatra dharma suto raja. Where? Dharma Sutta, son of Dharma. Who is that? Yudhishthira Maharaj. He is son of the Mahājana. Yama is one of the Mahājana and Yudhishthira is son of the Mahājana. Gadapanihi Vrukodaraha. Who is that Gadapani Vrukodara?
Bhima.
Bhima. Why is he called Vrukodara?
He is a voracious eater.
Voracious eater. Like, his tummy is like Vrika. Jackal. And Gadapanihi always carries Gada. And he killed actually so many people with that Gada. If that a powerful person is with you. And also Arjuna Astri, Krishna Astri Gandivam Chap. With this, Krishna means here Arjuna. Arjuna is there with his Gandiva. And the Supreme Lord Krishna, the well-wisher, Suhrit Krishna is also there. Even then, you face so many difficulties. Tato vipat. Bhagavad Gita, it is said that Yatra Yogeshwaro Krishna, Yatra Pardho Danurdaraha, Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir Dhruvani Tir Matir Mama. Wherever there is Krishna, wherever there is Arjuna, there should not be any problem. There should not be any difficulties. But both are there, but you face so many problems. Wherever Dharma personified, Yudhishthira is there, there should not be problem. This is there. But wherever there is a powerful Bhima and Arjuna is there, there should not be problem, but there is problem. Wherever Lord Krishna is there, personally, that side there should not be a problem, but there was a problem. So I think these problems are not normal problems. Bhīṣmadeva says that. Nahyasya karhi chitrajan Puman Veda Viditsitam Yad Vijñāsaya Yukta Muhyanti Kavayopihi. O King, no one can know the plan of the Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa. Nahi asya karhi chit rajan puman veda vidischitam. Nobody can know the plan, O Raja, of this Krishna. Yad vijñāsaya yukta muhyanti kavayopihi. Even though great philosophers, great people, great sages inquire exhaustively, they are bewildered. Muhyanti. O King Yudhishthira, no one can understand the plan of Śrī Kṛṣṇa because even those engaged in reasoning, vijñāsaya yukta, and scripture, vijñāsaya yukta, are bewildered by that inquiry. Nobody can know because these problems are not ordinary problems. These problems are orchestrated by Krishna for a higher purpose. Nobody can know. Tasmadidam daiva tantram vyavasya bharatarshava tasyanu vihito natha Natha pahi praja prabho. He is calling, see, Bhishma is calling Yudhishthira as Bharatarshava. Oh, best among the descendants of Bharata. Everybody is calling so many others as best among the Bharata. who is the best? Finally, is Bhīṣma? Is it Yudhishthira? Is Arjuna? Who is the Bharatarshaba? All of them. Yeah. Because they were all the great people in the Bharata dynasty. Yeah. Tasmadidam daivatantram vyavasa. I maintain therefore that all this is within the plan of the Lord. Daivatantram. Who is the Deva? Later he says, he is Eshavai Bhagavan Sakshat. Looking at Krishna, he is telling Eshavai Bhagavan Sakshat Adyo Narayano Harihi. He is the Daiva. Because of him, Tasyanuhito, accepting the inconceivable plan of the Lord, Anuhitaha, you must follow it. You are now the appointed administrative head as Natha. You became Natha. Take care of the Anathas, the people who are now rendered helpless, Anatha. Pahi Praja Prabho, O Prabhu, Yudhishthir Prabhu, O my Lord, you should now take care of those subjects, your citizens. You are king now. You rule. Bhīṣma wanted to see Yudhishthira as king. He saw him briefly when he was ruling the Indraprastha for a brief period. But he wanted always him to be the emperor of the whole world. Now he is coronated as the emperor. And Bhīṣma is telling with tears in his eyes, looking at Krishna, showing Krishna. He's telling, Esha vai Bhagavan Sakshat.
Esha vai Bhagavan Sakshat.
Adyo Narayana Puman.
Adyo Narayana Kumar.
Mohayan Mayaya Lokam. Ghudascharati Vrishnishu. He is Bhagavan. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This Śrī Kṛṣṇa is no other than the inconceivable original personality of Godhead. Adyo Narayana Puman. He is the first Narayana, the supreme enjoyer. Mohayan Mayaya Lokam. He is to bewilder us with his self-created energy. Bewilder us. Gudas charati Vrishnishu. He is moving among us, the descendants of Vrishni, as a common man, just like one of us. But he is the original source of Narayana, the source of the Karanodakashai Vishnu, Garbhodakashai Vishnu, Kshirodakashai Vishnu, the source of all the Purushāvataras, the source of Līlāvataras, the Yugāvataras, the Manvantara Avataras, the Gunavataras, and he is the original personality of Godhead, Krishna, the Swayam Bhagavan. He declared to them. Asyanubhavam Bhagavan Veda Guhyatamam Shivaha Devarshir Narada Sakshat Bhagavan Kapilo Nrupa. Nrupa, O King Yudhishthira. He said, Asyanubhavam Bhagavan, about his glories. Very few people know. Why? Veda Guhyatamam. They are very confidential. Veda Guhyatamam. There are only few people know. Who are those? Sivaha, Lord Shiva. Devarshir Narada. And Devarshi Narada, Sakshat Bhagavan Kapilaha, and the incarnation of Godhead, Lord Kapila. O King, Lord Shiva, Narada, the Devarshi and Lord Kapila, Bhagavan, know the most secret anubhavas of Krishna. Asya anubhavam. Though not his intentions, they also know his anubhavas, some activities, but they will not know his intentions. That means what he has depicted, they will know. What is there in his heart, they also will not know. He took 3 mahājanas names. We say that 12 mahājanas is the knowers of the Lord. He took names of 3 people, Shiva, Narada, and Kapila. Yam manyase matuleyam Priyam mitram suhruttamam akaro sachivam dutam sauhrudadata sarathim yan manyase matuleyam, whom you are considering, that personality whom out of ignorance you are considering as your cousin, brother, matuleyam. Priyam, mitram, whom you are considering as your friend, suhruttamam, whom you are considering as your well-wisher, akaro, and the counselor, sachivam, dutam is messenger, sachivam is counselor, and suhruda, benefactor, etc., and sarathi, the sarathi means the charioteer. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That very same Krishna, out of foolishness, you thought is your cousin, you thought is friend, you thought your well-wisher, you thought is minister, messenger, benefactor, and even charioteer. You engaged him as a charioteer, but he is Krishna, the Supreme Bhagavan. Sarvatmanas samadrusho Hyadvayasyanahangkriteh Tatkritam Mativaishamyam Niravadyasya nakvachit. Being the absolute personality of Godhead, He Advaya. He is present in everybody's heart. Sarvatmanaha, as Paramatma. He is equally kind to everyone. Samadrishaha. Anahankrite. And he is free from the false ego of differentiation. Anahankrite. Therefore, whatever he does is free from material inebriety. Tatkritam. Tatkritam. Niravadyasya nakvachit. He is equally balanced, and whatever he does is perfect. His actions are not a mistake of his judgment, for he is faultless. He is the soul of all beings. He sees all equally. He is without a second and is without pride. You may be thinking, Krishna gave so many difficulties, maybe because of mistake. No mistakes in Krishna. You should not deserve all these difficulties, but you got it because of Krishna. Is there something wrong in his part? Nothing is wrong in his part. He is faultless. He is the soul of all beings. He is equal to everybody. He has no pride, no hankara. Because he has no hankara, he had become your charioteer also. He was driving Arjuna out of Vatsalyata. He became your minister. When you wanted a messenger to carry a news to Duryodhana about alliance, you use Krishna as a messenger. Always like your younger brother, touching your feet, your cousin. He's there. There's nothing wrong in his part. These difficulties he gave, there is a bigger plan. Why he gave difficulties to Pandavas? Krishna. To teach us and to glorify them also. Yeah. He said, no matter whether you have Sarvabhauma, whether you are a Sarvabhauma and unrivaled rulership over earth, or you are a beggar in Ekachakra, your attitude of gratitude will not change. Yudhishthira and Pandavas are same when they are begging food in Ekachakra, when they are ruling the entire planet. Krishna wanted to demonstrate this to glorify the pure devotees, his eternal associates, and also teach us that how we should conduct. They are all sati devotees, chaste devotees. They will not go to anyone else for protection, anyone else for shelter. Only Krishna. Only Krishna. Tathapyekanta bhakteshu Pashya bhupanukampitam Yanme sumjajata sakshat Krishno darshanamagataha. Yet despite his being equally kind to everyone, He has graciously come before me while I'm ending my life, for I am his unflinching servitor. O King, see his mercy to his dedicated devotees. By that mercy, he has come before me directly when I am about to leave my body. I am leaving my body. He had come to bless me. See how kind he is. Not only with all of you, because he is cousin, because he is your friend, because he is your minister. He is there with you all the time. Look at me. I'm a normal devotee. I'm a dedicated devotee, but not like you people. But still, he came when I'm leaving my body. He remembered and he came. Bhaktya mano yasmin vacha yannama kirtayan chadan kalevaram yogi muchyate kama karma bihi. The personality of Godhead who appears in the mind of the devotee by attentive devotion and meditation, and by the chanting of the holy name, releases the devotee from the bondage of fruitive activities at the time of his quitting the material body. And these are also Krishna's words. Whoever remembers me at the time of death, they will come to me. Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita. So, see, and he came. And he came. Everybody says, why is Bhishma waiting? Some people say he's waiting for Uttarayana. He's actually not waiting for Uttarayana. That's an apparent reason. But some of the acharyas are saying that he knows that Krishna will come. He knows that Pandavas will come. He's waiting for them. Not because you die in Uttarayana, like no, you'll get some higher planetary system. No, he is actually waiting, that he knows, is confident that the Lord will come. Pandavas will come. And he wants to see Yudhishthira as king. So he's waiting. And he's saying, see, look at Krishna. He came. He came to see me at this point of time. Sadeva Devo Bhagavan Pratikshatam Kalevaram Yavadidam Hinomyaham Prasannaha Sarunalochanollasan Mukhambuzo Dhyana Patas Chaturbujaha. May my Lord, who is the four-handed and whose beautifully decorated lotus face, with eyes as red as the rising sun, is smiling, kindly await me at that moment when I quit this material body. So this is Bhishma's last wish. Let me be with the Lord. Let the Lord look at me. Let the Lord bless me as I am quitting my body. He's remembering that four-handed form of Krishna. Yeah. He's saying that Prasanna Hasaruna Lochanollasan Mukham Bhujo Dhyana Patas Chaturpujaha. That beautiful four-handed form. And that eyes as red as the rising sun. Prasanna Hasaruna Lochanollasan. The Kurukshetra, when he was seeing the Lord like that. Yeah. Sometimes in Kurukshetra, the Lord manifested the four hands instead of two hands. Why? Two hands is holding the reins. Two hands, he was trying to kill Bhishma. Sometimes he took the chakra like that. Sometimes he took the Ratha chakra. Yeah. So four hands he was manifesting. And another place yesterday, I told, day before yesterday, he was manifesting four hands that some people are telling, kill this fellow, Ashwadhama. He was holding Bhima and Draupadi both. Wait. Yeah. Suta Uvacha Yudhishthirastada Karnya Shayanam Sharapanjare Apruchyat Vividhan Dharman Rishinam Chanushrunvatam. Sutta Goswami said, Maharaj Yudhishthira, after hearing Bhīṣmadeva speak in that appealing tone, asked him in the presence of all the great rishis about the essential principles of various religious duties. Sutta Goswami said, Maharaj Yudhishthira heard Bhīṣmadeva speak all this, but he had many questions because he also wanted to know. He was feeling bad that, oh, I have done this massacre, because of me so many people died. What should I do now? And also so many other questions related to different dharmas are there. In front of all the rishis, he asked about the principles of various religious duties. Yeah. He asked, Vividhan dharman apruchyat. Purusha svabhava vihitan yatha varnam yathashramam vairagya ragopadibhyam amnato bhayalakshanan. At Maharaja Yudhishthira's inquiry, Bhīṣma first defined all the classifications of caste and orders of life, the varnashrama dharma, in terms of individual qualifications, guna and karma. Then he systematically, in twofold divisions, described counteraction by detachment, vairagya, and interaction by attachment, ragopadibhyam. He told 4 varnas dharmas, 4 ashrama dharmas, and also about pravritti marga, about the nivritti marga, the path of attachment and the path of detachment, both. All questions he answered. In Mahabharata it is detailed, but here only few things. Dhana dharman, raja dharman, moksha dharman vibhagashaha, Strī dharman bhagavad dharman, samasa vyasa yogataha. What is the meaning of samasa? Samasa. We say samasam in Telugu Sanskritam. What is the meaning of samasa? Compact, brief. Yeah. Vyasa. What is the meaning of vyasa? Vyasa. Elaborate. Yeah. Elaborate. Samasa means summarizing. Vyasa means elaborating. In summary, in detail, he told both. Yogataha means both. Samasa vyasa yogataha. He told these things in detail and extensively, briefly and extensively. What are the things he explained? Dana dharma, act of charity. Raja dharma, activities of salvation. Strī dharma, and the duties of women. And Bhagavad dharma, the Bhagavad dharma, and the devotees, the duties of devotees, how they conduct their life. He explained all these things in samasa, means brief. In vyasa, means elaborate. Dharmartha kama mokshamsya sahopayan yatha mune nanakhyānetihāseshu varnayamasa tattvavid. Bhīṣma is called here as what? Tattvavid means knower of Tattva. He is the knower of Tattva, acquainted with the truth. So he explained Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, the Chaturvida Purusharthas. And he explained them with Nana Akhyana Itihaseshu. Many Akhyanas, stories from the history and also from the Itihasas. He told the present stories, the past stories, explaining the Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Yeah. O Shaunaka, Bhīṣma, knower of truth, accurately described Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha along with their methods using various stories and histories as proof. He's now prepared to leave his body. Dharmam pravadatastasya sakala pratyupastitaha yo yoginas-chanda mrityoh vanchitastuttarayanaha. While Bhīṣmadeva was describing occupational duties, the sun entered in the northern hemisphere, Uttarayana. This period is described by mystics who die at their will. The time of Uttarayana, which was desired by Bhīṣma, who had finished speaking on dharma and could die when he chose, then arrived. Who gave Bhīṣma this boon of Swachanda Marana? His father. Canto. Why Shantanu gave this boon?
Because he was pleased when he gave away kingdom so that Satyavati's sons can occupy.
Wonderful. So he's pleased with his son Bhīṣma, who did the Bhīṣma Patigna that I will not marry. I will support the Satyavati's children. Now you go get married. Then he was so pleased and he said, you will not die. You can die only when you desire to die. So now Bhīṣma had desired. I told not only Uttarayana, it's an apparent reason. The internal reason is that Lord Krishna comes now. See, at the time of Gita Jayanti, Gita appeared. And that's roughly in December. And later, you have Uttarayana in Makara Sankranti. So, few days later it is. Tadopa samrutya gira sahasrani vimokta sangam mana adi purushe Krishnela satpita pate chaturbhuje Purastite milita dragvyadharayat. At that time, withdrawing his words from other subjects with eyes wide open, Bhīṣma, leader of 1,000 chariots, concentrated himself from all material attachment upon Krishna, the original person, dressed in shining yellow garments, with 4 arms standing before him. Krishna gave him 400 darshan to him because that's how he wanted to see. Is Bhīṣmadev's, how are his eyes? Eyes of Bhīṣma. Wide open. He's looking at Krishna. Sometimes people come from so far to come to see Lord in the temple, they'll come and close the eyes. That is not the way. Eyes should be wide open when you're looking at the Lord. Gopis are cursing Brahma. What kind of eyelids you created that every now and then, like we have to close our lids. Foolish Brahma. He says, Pakshma Kruddhisha. Like, no, what kind of eyes you created? Innocent people, they'll come so far to temple. They'll come and just close their eyes and go away. That is not the way. Like, no, when the Lord is there in front of you, don't close your eyes and open those eyes. Yeah. And others, nowadays, they love some kind of meditation. Like, no, they'll feel sleepy. Yeah. Vishuddhaya dharanaya hata subhaha Adhikshayaiva sugata yudhasramaha Nivritta sarvendriya vritti vibhrama Tushtavajanyam visrujan janardanam. As Bhīṣma, free of all inauspiciousness by his pure concentration, free of physical fatigue from fighting and free of wandering senses by Krishna's glance of mercy, left his body, he began to praise Krishna. Actually, he was leaving his body, glorifying the Lord. Now comes the Bhīṣma's prayers. These are the short prayers. And then after this he departs. Please be patient. Shri Bhīṣma Uvacha iti matirupa kalpita vitrishna Bhagavati satvata pungave vibhumni Svasukham upagate kvachit vihartum Prakriti mupeyushi yad bhava pravaha. Bhīṣma is telling, let me remember Krishna. Let me now invest my thinking, feeling and willing, which are so long engaged in different subjects and occupational duties. Let them be remembering Krishna. Krishna is Bhagavan. He is all powerful. He is Satvata Pungave Vibhumni. He is the leader of devotees. He is always self-satisfied. And let me remember Krishna. And he enjoys transcendental pleasure by descending to the material world. Upagate kvachit vihartum prakritim. Yeah. Yad bhava pravaha. Although from him only the material world is created, he is away from the material world, but he descends. Why he descends? Bhīṣma is telling. Why he descends? Why Bhīṣma? Why Krishna descends? It is told. Huh? Transcendental. Kvachid vihartum upagate. When he wants to enjoy association of his devotees, he descends. Svasukham upagate kvachit vihartum. Though he is transcendental to Prakriti, he appears in Prakriti. This material world is created from him. He comes sometimes as an excursion and a pleasure trip, outing. What else you call? Yatra. Tribhuvana kamanam tamala varnam Ravikara gaura varambaram dadane Vapuralaka kulavritananabjam Vijaya sakhe ratirastu me anavadya. Who is Vijaya? Vijaya, always keep the mic. Vijaya.
Krishna.
Arjuna.
Arjuna.
Vijaya Sakha means Arjuna's friend. I told Arjuna's names the other day. Vijaya Sakhe ratirastu me anavadya. Let me have attraction only for the friend of Arjuna. Anavadya. Like, he says that always, always. Let me have pure prema for Krishna, the friend of Arjuna, who possesses a body desired by all inhabitants of the three worlds. Tribhuvana kamanam, which is clothed with intense yellow garments shining in the sun. Ravikara gaura varambaram dadane, whose complexion is dark like the tamala tree, tamala varnam, and whose lotus face is surrounded by locks of hair. Vapuraraka kulavritananabjam. He had curly locks of hairs. Let that Krishna, that friend of Arjuna, be my object of meditation. Yudhituragarajo vidhurma vishvak Kachalulita shramavarya lankritasye Mama nishita sarair vibhidyamana Tvachi vilasat kavachestu Krishna Atma. May my mind concentrate on Krishna, whose face was decorated with hair covered with the dust raised by the horses, tossed all about because of the speed of his driving and with the perspiration because of his great effort in protecting Arjuna, whose armor shone brightly, pierced slightly by my sharp arrows. Bhīṣmadeva is remembering that past time where he's shooting many arrows at Krishna and Krishna is bleeding and he is in anxiety to protect Arjuna. And with Krishna is going with intense speed with his horses to attack Bhishma when the dust from all over coming and that is on the face of Krishna and Krishna is also perspiring like that beautiful scene. Bhishmadev is remembering that Partha Sarathi because Bhishmadev is in the Veera Rasa. Like he wanted to see Lord like that and is remembering that palm. Sapadhisha kivacho nishamya madhye Nija parayor balayor atham niveshya Stitavati parasainikayurakshna Hritavati partha sakera tirmamastu Ratir mama astu. May I have prema. For who? For whom? Partha Sake, that Partha Saradhi, the friend of Partha, the charioteer of Partha, the chariot driver of Arjuna, who placed the chariot between the two opposing armies. Immediately on hearing Arjuna's request, what was Arjuna's request in Bhagavad Gita? Ratham sthapaya me Arjuna. Like he says that you place the chariot. So he said, and situated there by his glance, took away the prarabdha karmas of the opposing party. So in fact, when Krishna looked at the entire Kaurava Pandava army, he's in the middle, no? He looked at everybody. Actually, they all went back home, back to Godhead because of Krishna's glancing only. Krishna took away all the prarabdha karmas. The war is only a means later, but he already delivered them. Everybody attained spiritual world. Everybody went back home, back to Godhead. It's also told that Parthastra Putai, like by the astras of Partha, they're purified. And by the glance of Krishna, they're delivered. Vyavahita pruthana mukham niriksha Svajanavadhat vimukasya dosha buddhya Kumati maharad atma vidyayayaha Charanarati paramasya tasya mestu. May I have prema for the feet of the Supreme Lord. Charana rati paramasya tasya mestu. Who by giving knowledge of himself destroyed the ignorance of Arjuna. Kumati maharad atma vidyayayaha. Who on seeing the heads of the opposing army at a distance. Vyavaharadhrita prathana mukam niriksha. Svajanavadhat vimukasya dosha buddhya. Refused to fight because he thought it was a sin to kill his relatives. He's remembering Arjuna is telling, I will not fight, I will not fight, I will not fight. And that scene, that Supreme Lord, who actually gave the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, Atma Vidya to Arjuna, let his lotus feet be object of my worship. May I have prema for the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, who is the Jagat Guru, who is taught Bhagavad Gita, the Gita Charya. Why Krishna told Gita? Because Arjuna was confused. Arjuna was reluctant to fight. That was only apparent reason. Because for the benefit of all of us, it was spoken. Arjuna was made as an instrument, just like Parikshit was made an instrument to propagate Bhagavatam. Manigamamapahaya mat pratigyam Ritam adhikartum avapluto rathastaha Dhritarata charano abhyagascha ladguru Haririvahantum ibham gatottariya. Giving up his own promise not to fight. What was Krishna's promise? not use the weapon, not fight. What was Bhīṣma's promise?
He'll make Krishna.
He will make Krishna lift the weapon. He will make Krishna participate in the war. Finally, also I told, Krishna only concluded Kurukshetra war by nullifying Ashwatthama's Brahmastra, giving up his own promise not to fight and making my oath to make him fight come true. Krishna, situated on the chariot, quickly got down and holding the wheel of the chariot ran towards me like a lion coming to kill an elephant, while the earth shook and his uttariya is fallen to ground. So, Haririvahantum ibham gata uttariya. His uttariya is fallen. Fulfilling my oath and sacrificing his own promise, he got down from the chariot, took up the wheel and ran towards me hurriedly, just as a lion goes to kill an elephant. He even dropped his outer garment on the way. Krishna, his body is bleeding and also without a cloth on top also. It's like this. Yeah. Bhīṣma was remembering that face with curly hair, that face with reddish eyes, that face with covered with the dust of horses, that body which is bleeding, that body which is wounded, that body which is dropped the uttariya, running towards him in haste and anxiety to protect Arjuna and to kill Bhīṣma. Bhīṣma is remembering Pardasardi in Veera Rasa like this. Tita Vishikahato Vishirnadamshaha Ksataja Paripluta Atatayino me Prasabham Abhisasara Madvadartham Sabhavatu me Bhagavan Gatir Mukundaha Sabhavatu me Bhagavan Gatir Mukundaha. May that Mukunda be only goal of my life, who, afflicted by my sharp arrows, armor broken, covered in blood, rushed towards me, his enemy, with great force in order to kill me. He's again and again. The thing is, he had armor. That armor is broken. Uttari is also gone. He's bleeding, covered, face covered with dust, and hair is scattered, curly hair already but scattered, and perspiring, and running in haste with reddish eyes, running towards Bhīṣma. He remembering that. Vijaya Ratha Kutumba Attatotre Dhrita Haya Rasmini Tat Sriye Kshaniye Bhagavati Ratirastu me Mumursho Yamiha Niriksha Hata Gata Svarupam. Desiring to die, may I have prema for the Lord. Bhagavati Ratirastu me Mumurshor, who protected Arjuna's chariot while holding a whip in his right hand. Vijaya Ratha Kutumba Atta Totre, the reins in his left hand, reins in right and left. Remaining two arms, is still trying to kill Bhīṣma. Four-handed form, whose beauty must be seen, and who bestowed liberation to those who died on the battlefield after seeing him. Everybody who looked at him, they actually are delivered, because Krishna looked at not only Kaurava's side, even Pandava's side, because when the Ratha is placed in between, he looked at everybody. Yeah, everybody went back home, back to Godhead. In the name of Kurukshetra war, he delivered the whole Kshatriya community as a whole, one shot. And now Bhīṣma, as he leaving his body, his immediate object of attraction is Arjuna, and Arjuna's object of worship, Parthasarathi. But he's also remembering the gopis. Srila Prabhupada is telling why he's remembering the gopis, to seek their blessings as he leaves his body, because they are the greatest of the devotees. Even Shukadeva Goswami is offering dandavats to the gopis. Vande Nandavaja Srinam Padarenum Abhikshnasaha Yasam Harikatodgitam Punati Bhuvanatrayam. He's telling that I offer dandavats to those cowherd damsels of Vrindavan. Vande Nandavaja Srinam Padarenum abhikshnasaha. I aspire the dust of their lotus feet. Why? Yasam harikatod geetam. Whatever songs they are singing of Lord Krishna, Punati Bhuvanatrayam. They are creating, they are purifying the three worlds. Punati Bhuvanatrayam. Bhīṣma is also remembering the gopis. Lalita gati vilasa valguhasa. Pranaya nirikshana kalpitorumana. Krutamanukೃತವತ್ಯ ಉನ್ಮದಾಂಧ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿ ಮಘನ್ ಕಿಲ ಯಸ್ಯ ಗೋಪವದ್ವಃ. Let my mind be fixed upon Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa, whose motions and smiles of love attracted the damsels of Vrindavana. The damsels imitated the characteristic movements of the Lord after his disappearance from the Rasa dance. How amazing that these gopis attained the nature of Krishna himself, because they were imitating Krishna's pastimes. When Krishna disappeared in the Rasa dance, one gopi is acting like Putana, other gopi is acting like Yashoda, and somebody is acting like Krishna and killing Putana, demonstrating that. And one is lifting Govardhan. They are dancing like Krishna. They are like, performing all the pastimes. And they were also singing in their this thing. So he's remembering that the gopis were worshipped by Krishna's expert actions, emotional displays, words and glances. Attaining those qualities, they responded in harmony to his most extraordinary displays of love, blinded by the madness of love. How amazing that these gopis attained the nature of Krishna himself. He's remembering the gopis. And one more pastime is remembering. Munigana Nrupavarya Sankulentaha Sadasi Yudhisthira Rajasuya Yesham Arhanam Upapedha Ikshaniyo Mama Drushi Gochara Yesha Aviratma Yesha Aviratma, the Lord of my life, worthy of being seen. Mama Drushi Gochara Yesha Aviratma, who received the worship of all the great sages and kings in the assembly during the Rajasuya sacrifice of Yudhishthira. Muniganan Rupavarya Sankulenta Sadasi Yudhishthira Rajasuya Esham Arhana Mupapeya Ikshaniyo has become visible to my eyes. That Rajasuya Yaga, Bhīṣma saw, all the great people, the great souls worshipping Krishna. Who proposed that Krishna should be given the Agra Puja? Sahadeva. Sahadeva proposed that, everybody supported later. And Sisupala opposed. Sahadeva first proposed. So then everybody opposed. Then they have given that Agra Puja to Krishna. And he's remembering that scene, that how Krishna is worshipped by all the people in the world, all the great people in the world. Everybody is offering Guru Puja to that Jagat Guru, Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. Bhīṣma was remembering that scene. He remembered initially the war scene. Then he remembered the Vrindavan scene. Now finally he is remembering that worship in the Rajasuya Yajna. His last prayer. Tamimamaham majam sarira bhajam Tamimamaham majam sarira bhajam Hrudi hrudi dishtitamatma kalpitanam Pratidrishamiva naikadarkamekam Samadhigatosmi vidhuta bheda mohaha. Freed from the illusion of difference in Lord's various forms, I have attained the Lord, who is one, though appearing to be many like the sun seen by many people, who is the charioteer, but who is also seen in my heart, the unborn, and is situated in the hearts of all the jivas who create their own bodies. The Naikadarka Mekaha, the sun may be perceived differently, but the sun is alone. Similarly, Supreme Lord is perceived as differently, but he is the same one personality. So Bhīṣma is telling, now I can meditate with full concentration upon that one Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa now present before me, because now I have transcended the misconception of duality in regard to his presence in everyone's heart, even in the hearts of the mental speculators. He is in everyone's heart. The sun may be perceived differently, but the sun is one. So as he say this thing, seeing Krishna in front of him with wide open eyes, looking at his beautiful four-handed form that is worshipped in Rajasuya Yajna, that form of Partha Sarathi, remembering that form, Bhīṣma left his body. Sutta Uvacha Krishna evam bhagavati mano vagdrishti vrittibhihi atmanyatmanam aveshya sontasvasa uparamat. Here it is told that Bhīṣma merged himself in the super soul, Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, with his mind, speech, sight and actions. And thus he became silent and his breathing stopped. Here it is told, Bhīṣma absorbing himself in Krishna Bhagavan. Krishna Chakra Thakur is saying, the charioteer situated in his heart, using his mind, words and sight, stopped his breathing and ceased external functions. Absorbing and merging are two different things. Some people think that Bhīṣma merged in Krishna. He didn't attain Sahajya Mukti. He is absorbed in Krishna. He went back to Vaikuntha Lokas. He got the Salokya Mukti of the Lord. The Acharyas are saying, Sampadhyamana Magyaya Bhīṣmam Brahmani Nishkale Sarve Bhabhuvuste Tushnim Vayamsi Vadinatyaye. The ignorant who were like birds, who think that day has been destroyed at the approach of evening, thought that Bhīṣma had attained the Brahman and became silent. Only ignorant people thought that Bhīṣma attained Sahajya Mukti. But Bhīṣma did not attain Sahajya Mukti because he was liking the personality. He is meditating on the form of the Lord. One who meditates the form of the Lord, how Krishna will cheat them by giving Sahajya Mukti? This only people thought that. Yeah. Just like birds, innocent birds think that, oh, the day is destroyed in the evening. Sun is gone. Sun is no more. They think like similarly. The people thought that Bhīṣma had attained Brahman and became silent. Tatra dundu bhayo neduhu deva manava vadita sashamshu sadhavo ragyam Khatpetu pushpa vrishtayaha. Thereafter, both men and the devatas sounded drums, Tatra Dundubhayo Nedur, in honor, and the honest royal order commenced demonstrations of honor and respect. Samshu Sadhavo Ragnam Khatpetu pushpa vrishtayaha, and from the sky fell showers of flowers. Drums played by the devatas and men sounded. The kings without hatred praised him, and flowers fell from the sky. Yeah, everybody appreciated Bhīṣma. Everybody appreciated Bhīṣma. Devatas were dancing. They were showering flowers. All the people on this planet also, they were wonderfully glorifying Bhīṣma. And they're saying, excellent, excellent, sadhu, sadhu. tasya nirharanadini samparetasya bhargava yudhishthira karayitva muhurtam dukkito bhavat. Who is Bhargava? Saunaka. O descendant of Bhrigu, Saunaka, Yudhishthira had last rites of the departed Bhishma performed and became sad for a moment. He performed final rites and became sad. Previously, they performed final rites for everybody, including Karna. Now the final rites are performed for Bhishma. With this, the final rites in Kurukshetra are completed. War is completed by neutralizing Brahmastra of Ashwadhama for a second time and for permanently, and also for performing final rites of great Bhīṣmadeva. Tutushtuvur munayo hrishta Krishnam tad guhya namabhihi tataste Krishna hridaya swashraman prayayuh punaha. The chapter started with all the great souls coming from all over. Now what will happen? All the great souls going back home. The sages enjoy, praise Krishna with his confidential names, and then with Krishna in their hearts departed again for their hermitages. They rarely got opportunity to see Krishna, hear Krishna Katha. They are glorifying Krishna and they are praising Krishna, and also in their hearts they are worshipping Krishna, and then they went home. Tato yudhishthiro gatva saha Krishno gajahvayam pitaram santvayamasa gandharim cha tapasvinim. Thereafter, Maharaj Yudhishthira at once went to his capital Hastinapura, accompanied by Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa, and there he consoled his uncle and aunt Gandhari, who was an ascetic. He went back to Hastinapura and consoled Gandhari and Dhritarashtra. Finally, Yudhishthira gave up his grief after hearing from Bhishma, after getting knowledge from him. Pitra chanumato raja Vasudevānumoditaha Chakara rajyam dharmena Pitrupaitamaham vibhuhu. With the permission of Dhritarashtra and agreement of Krishna, powerful Yudhishthira ruled the ancestral kingdom according to dharma. He was taking guidance from Krishna, guidance from Dhritarashtra, and also Daumya, Vyasa, Krupa, and other great souls. Accompanied by his brothers, Yudhishthira ruled the kingdom very nicely. So, it is Dharma Rajya, Rama Rajya, Yudhishthira's kingdom, because he is son of Dharma, personification of Dharma. So, he ruled the kingdom under the guidance of Lord Krishna. So, this is where this chapter ends. I will stop. Om Tat Sat. Śrī Kṛṣṇa Arpanamastu. If anybody has any questions, comments, you can ask. We can take a couple of questions. Anyone? Jyoti Prabhu, give him mic.
So in this verses, all the soldiers in the battlefield, those who have seen Krishna, they attain their original forms. It is mentioned, but we understand that unless we develop rati for Krishna, it is not possible to enter into the kingdom, to be in the spiritual world. How is it that they got their rati, if at all they achieved the original form?
These soldiers, you are saying that they have went back home, back to Godhead. How is it possible? It is true. Acharya said that unless one gets rati for Krishna, one will not go back home, back to Godhead. But they also told about another point. Krishna is Swarat, supremely independent. If he wants to take anybody back home, back to Godhead, nobody can stop. He glanced, he wanted to take them. Finish. So, he is supremely independent. It is told in Brahma Samhita that Panthastu Koti Setavatsara Sampragamyo Vayorathapi manaso munipungavanam sopyasti yat prapadasimnya vichintya tatve govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. These people, the great, some of the sages, they are worshipping Krishna for how long? Koti setavatsara sampragamyo. Crores of hundreds of years, billions of years they are worshipping. They will not even reach the tip of the toe of the lotus feet of Krishna. And there is a hunchback prostitute girl on the main road who is servant of Kamsa. Some sandalwood pulp just gave it to Krishna. Instantly he delivered her. What is this logic? Hundreds and thousands of years of meditation, they are not reaching the tip of the toe of lotus feet of Krishna. And one hunchback girl, Kubja, with bad intention, touched Krishna. He delivered her. Why? His wish. Swarat. Supremely independent. Jai Ho. Nothing else we can say. Who he will show his mercy? When he will show his mercy? There is no formula. Jyoti Prabhu or Madhav Prabhu or all of us put together in the material world cannot create formula. Going back home, back to Godhead. It's up to him. Of course, Acharya said some methodology. Do bhakti, Navavida bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, develop. Come to the stage of Bhava and Prema. It's all right. That's a normal, gradual process. But he chose us to deliver anybody. Up to him. You cannot ask me, why not me today?
Bhīṣmadeva spoke Vishnu Sahasranama before leaving, right? It is not mentioned here.
Yeah, he spoke the Vishnu Sahasranama also as part of this thing before leaving his body. That is not mentioned explicitly here. He said so many different things are mentioned. It is mentioned with this Bhagavad Dharma, one word. Bhagavad Dharma means how to worship the Lord. That is through the Vishnu Sahasranamas. Yes. And Acharya Bal Vidya Bhushanam wrote a commentary those Vishnu Sahasranama. Actually, they are Krishna Sahasranama. Every name he gave meaning of how it is related to Krishna's pastimes. So, whoever studies this Vishnu Sahasranama, one will get benefited. There, this Yudhishthira's question is there. Yudhishthira uvacha kenopayena laguna vishnor-nama sahasrakam patyate panditairnityam shrotum icchamyaham prabho. This verse is spoken by Yudhishthira in Vishnu Sahasranama. So we for sure know that he had asked this question. Here it is simply in cut short way, whatever he elaborated with so many stories and so many pastimes, akhyananas and itihasas, those things only with names are told here, like Bhagavad Dharma. Yes, Prabhu. One more question.
Prabhu, one more. We say it as Kurukshetra, right?
Mm.
Kshetra means place.
Mm.
Kurukshetra means, is it the place of Kurus?
Yes, it is the place of Kurus, where Kuru started this place. On his name only, this Kurukshetra name came. Yeah.
Then because the battlefield happened, it came, the name Dharmakshetra came up.
Dharmakshetra is always Dharmakshetra because many great souls, they have performed austerities there. Even Parshurama also, lived in that place. There are many. Kurukshetram Deva Yajanam, place of worship of the Devatas. They worshipping Supreme Lord and they are also worshipped. So it is told in the Veda also, Kurukshetram Deva Yajanam. So Kurukshetra is always Dharmakshetra. That's why it is chosen for the war, Dharma Yuddha. Not that because of the war it has become Dharmakshetra. Even before that. Yes, Vipin Prabhu.
Bhishma was a devotee of Krishna, and still why he was inside of Duryodhana?
Bhishma was devotee of Krishna. Why is he fighting? Prabhupada answers this question in the purports. He says that it is by the inconceivable will of the Supreme Lord. It is the will of the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord desired. Why did Supreme Lord desire like that? Prabhupada gives a reason. The reason is that Krishna wanted to prove that even a great person fights on the wrong side of adharma, he will be defeated. Krishna wants to teach this lesson. This is what Srila Prabhupada said. Short answer. Long answer we'll discuss later point of time. Any other questions, comments? Yes, Ashish Prabhu. Give him mic.
Yudhishthira Maharaj's main question was he killed so many people, but direct answer was not given by any.
He didn't ask a question. He was crying. I killed so many people and I was, how can I be happy? And actually his lamentation is that how by doing Ashwamedha and others, killing more animals, how can I counteract the sin I have incurred? Actually, Yudhishthira incurred no sin. It is Dharma Yuddha. Out of humility, out of compassion, he's feeling like that I have become enemy of people. Many women will hate me because I killed their relatives. But Bhīṣmadeva consoled him and told so many Rajadharmas to him. It's told Rajadharmas. So what a king has to do? King cannot be like a Buddhist. See, Buddhist, what happened? Ahimsa, 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 ahimsa. They told. Today they have no home. They're kicked out of their home. They're kicked out of their home. Dalai Lama has to take shelter in India. And junior Dalai Lama, I don't know, where is he? I think he's kidnapped by China or something like that. So you cannot keep saying. So Yudhishthira was speaking. But Prabhupada said violence has its place. I told now surgical strikes sometimes are necessary. Otherwise what happens? It will be like the previous governments that they're never bothered. So many attacks happen. They will come to our financial capital in Bombay and kill so many people and so many guests, and government slept. That's not the way. Did they stop because of that? Oh, you are nice. No. PM said, Hindi chini bhai bhai. What happened bhai bhai? They have taken your land. They killed your people. So sometimes violence has its place. So he explained how it is. See, for ultimate pramana is Vedas. If Bhagavan comes and says, don't follow Vedas, we reject Bhagavan, but not Vedas. Buddha comes and says, reject Vedas. We didn't reject Vedas, we're rejecting Buddha. We accept him, Bhagavan. But if he comes also says, ahimsa paramo dharmaha in a different context. Unless we protect dharma, dharma will not protect us. Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. This is the word of Veda. So Yudhishthira was also lamenting, probably like Ashoka. But he did not become Buddhist like Ashoka. Like Ashoka left all the things after the Kalinga war and he had become Buddhist and this thing, end of the story. And of course, his consciousness is not like Ashoka. He had compassion. But that's a Vaishnava compassion. After telling everything to Arjuna, Arjuna fought. Krishna wanted Arjuna to fight. No matter you give Advaita interpretation of Bhagavad Gita, Dvaita interpretation of Bhagavad Gita, Vishishtadvaita interpretation of Bhagavad Gita, everybody, all schools of thoughts accept this one thing, that after speaking Bhagavad Gita, Krishna wanted Arjuna to fight. Not simply taking a chanting bag and chant and be happy. Chant, fight and be happy. Mam anusmara yudhyach. Remember me and fight. That's the message. So it's like that. You know what he did? Next, Yudhishthira. He sent his brothers, all four sides, to conquer everybody, get money. Because he has to run the kingdom now. He has to set up the treasury. No more war, no more this thing. He didn't say like that. Once he got the knowledge, of course he was lamenting, but he was consoled. For a higher purpose, this had to happen. Anyone else has any last question? Oh yes, Prabhu. Give me the mic.
So why Yudhishthira is taking guidance from Dhritarashtra again after all?
Why Yudhishthira is taking guidance from Dhritarashtra? Dhritarashtra is an evil-minded person. But he has become better now. Still not better, because Vidura had to come. Whole life, Vidura preached to only one person. That is Dhritarashtra. Who is Vidura? He is a mahājana. That means, so many preaching you did, one person in your life you deliver also. You are mahājana. And who is Dhritarashtra? He is son of Krishna. Vyasadeva is Sakshat Bhagavan. He is son of Krishna, but he is in that position. And not one mahājana. How many mahājanas taught him? Vyasadeva. 4 Kumaras. Bhīṣma. And Vidura. Yamaraj. 4 mahājana. 4 Kumaras also came. Mahabharata. Sanat Kumara comes to preach Dhritarashtra. Don't do like this. He'll hear and forget. At least 4 mahājanas taught this person. One mahājana dedicated his own life to preaching this one person. We will talk in chapter 13 about Dhritarashtra's mindset. Why is this to take? Yudhishthira, see, it is told not as uncle. The verse also says he treated him like father. We always take the blessings of the father and guru. Krishna is Supreme Guru. Dhritarashtra is the father. So, with his blessings, his ministers are Daumya and others. Dronacharya is also teacher. Daumya is also teacher. But there is a difference. Dronacharya is like a tuition teacher. You pay money, he'll give some class. But Daumya is not like a tuition teacher. Because when they had no money, he went to the forest to meet the Pandavas and he shared their sorrow. And Yudhishthira asked, we are in so many difficulties. Are there any other people who had more difficulties than us? He taught them the story of Lord Rama. He also taught them the story of Nala and Damayanti. They had more difficulties than you. So, Daumya is the real teacher. So he didn't take really, not in the sense of guidance, but as a blessing, doing this thing. And Dhritarashtra also have become better now. But when Vidura comes one last time, Vidura came after going everything, he came only for delivering Dhritarashtra. We'll hear that shortly. So can I stop now? It's already 2 hours fully. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. It's a very great opportunity of purification for me. Last few days, not only this class, I was being invited online by many different groups. Yesterday also, some people, what is that group, Mataji? Bhakti Sangha Japa. They have all over world Bhagavatam group. Like, they have invited me. I spoke about Ambarish Maharaj. Today also, this evening, again, we got opportunity to speak in Gachibowli. So reading Bhagavatam, that too in the association of devotees is wonderful. And I really want to thank all the devotees, preparing these slides and material and everything. And also thank you, all of you are asking wonderful questions, even after 2 hours of the class without moving. That gives a great source of inspiration. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.